Hypervisor is a thin virtualization platform that allows multiple operating systems to run on a computer at the same exact time. And it manages a virtual machine's access to physical resources and is currently classified as two different types. There's a Type 1 hypervisor, which is known as a bare metal hypervisor. It installs on top of your hardware. And VMware and Citrix XenServer are examples of that. There's a Type 2 hypervisor that is actually hosted hypervisor, and it is responsible for being on top of an operating system. Microsoft Virtual Server, also VMware Workstation, also VirtualBox and Microsoft Virtual PC. All of these are Type 2 hypervisors. They make it possible for you to run a virtual machine on top of an operating system like Windows or like Linux. So virtual machine is really a collection of virtual hardware. Now, virtual hardware is what is created by that hypervisor. On your hardware, hypervisor sits right above your hardware, and then all of the virtual machines sit on top of the hypervisor. So a collection of virtual hardware that creates a standard x86 or x64 PC environment that allows for the installation of a supported guest operating system. Guest operating system is the virtual machine that you install. And virtual machines themselves are made up of virtual hardware components that make a physical machine run. And let's be clear here, virtual machines are stored in a set of files. Okay? And the number and the types of files that make up a virtual machine are different based on the hypervisor platform that is being hosted. Now, each virtualization vendor maintains its own proprietary set of files. XenServer has its own set of proprietary files. VMware has its own. Microsoft Hyper-V has its own. Now, virtual machines versus physical machines, the benefits are really a lot. On a physical machine, for example, it would be very difficult to copy a physical machine without using third-party tools. What I mean by copy is, if you wanted to take a physical machine from one machine and the installation that was on that one machine and move it to another box, it would be very complicated. It's usually very difficult. Virtual machine, you can just move things over very, very easily. Now, physical machines are tied to a specific piece of hardware, which means that if you've installed something on a Dell server, Dell utilities and Dell appliances and Dell hardware and peripherals are tied to that particular virtual machine, or tied to that particular physical machine. Virtual machines are hardware independent. It doesn't matter if you've installed that operating system on Dell hardware, you can just as easily move it over to HP or IBM or some other piece of hardware. Physical machines are typically underutilized. Virtual machines really have they're maximizing the utilization of the physical box.